Hashtag how to run for Polemarch.
Lecture 8, March 23rd. Peloponnesian Civil War. What we see as the magnificence of the bond attracts men interested in Kappa, as it did and does all of us, but we know our reasons. A byproduct of the success found in our achievement is jealousy and antagonism, where unfortunately looking up to those who'd come before us rejects the idea that those thought equal or less than may surpass them. Consequently, when one shakes the Polemarch's hand, others want one as well to bring them up at least not less than at that moment. But access to the Polemarch is limited to active membership and personal relations. From either fatigue in the race to achieve or the belief that the grass is somehow greener on the other side, motivation becomes stagnant as time which could be better spent is however partially consumed explaining why money doesn't really matter, when it does. We don't pay tribute to the gods who harm us nor to governments who don't have our best interest in mind, but if the benefit outweighs the expense, paying dues is an investment, not a bill. But this is a wide world, and proximity to a Polemarch, an active member or a city with a chapter may be unrealistic. For what purpose and why we don't know, but the chain of command where whatever fate, luck, or destiny places some above others in relation to the fraternity where pride hurts too much to admit as well that some are somehow superior in life in general as well unfortunately exists. Placing oneself above the purposes of the bond is seen as a treasonous offense, and thinking just because money doesn't really matter gives them the right to say that neither does rank is ridiculous, but it happens. Arguing that deference, altruism, and discretion are key to achievement, rebellion is quelled. Deference is key to achievement, but it can only quell rebellion for so long. We are not saying that we are always right or even fair, but it is incumbent on the current administrations to balance the budget while remaining in the black. Following the plan leads to greater success, where surrounding ourselves with those either equal to or greater than ourselves in the process is one reason many are attracted to the fraternity. Through such deference Athens grew, where Thucydides wrote in the history of the Peloponnesian War, the growth of the power of Athens, and the alarm which this inspired in Lacedaemon, made war inevitable. The Delian League led by Athens and the Peloponnesian League would fight this war between 431 and 404 BC, with Sparta leading the Peloponnesian League to victory. When one is social with another, there is no need for violence, because in place of violence there is understanding and compromise where people remain civil. With war there is no compromise, and in civil war it is more damaging because we are only hurting ourselves. Deference to the Polemarch is demanded from the body, but there is always one or two in the running for Polemarch next whenever that may be. One is not treasonous for agreeing, thinking no one is Polemarch forever, but thinking they are somehow better than the Polemarch, if whether or not they become Polemarch in the future is, because the only real proof that the Polemarch is better or worse is in relation to the fraternity, superior by way of deference. Those with deference to Sparta proved to win the day. Altruism is key to achievement, but it can only quell rebellion for so long. It is not wrong to think we gravitate towards those of us whose ideals we share, because we think those ideals are right and good. The willful submission of one's wills and wishes to the wills and wishes of others is the foundation of brotherhood, but the spread of brotherhood comes increased suffrage which is satisfied through altruism. Submitting one's wills and wishes could and often is satisfied with a reciprocated smile and being happy for another's achievement. Without the light of Apollo there would be no joy, because we couldn't see others smile and wouldn't be likely to do so without the magnitude of the gravity which attracts friends and breeds in others the will to associate or hate. But we can't stop achieving because others are less so inclined to do so. Thus, promoting altruism consequently widens the divide between those willfully submitting their wills and wishes to those of the Polemarch and those whose fabricated enmity gives rise to an opposition party. Altruism fuels our joy but rebellion in some. Discretion is key to achievement, but it can only quell rebellion for so long. Though some may be equal to him, most don't have the proof that they support the current oligarchy. Within the bond many cultures are represented through members who have been initiated, so to say that one could satisfy all is just temporary, as those underrepresented mount an offensive. Being a private organization gives the current administration an opportunity to pacify those who represent others under our auspices who may feel less victorious about themselves. Encouraging all to share in our successes at achievement, no matter how hard we try, will inevitably leave some wishing more. And no, we couldn't possibly share all the rewards from an event, because economics is one thing, while clout is quite another. Never ever having comprehended clout outside of quantity, most never see the value in our small and mighty, but fragile oligarchy with no other choice but to achieve. So, though we shine like diamonds, discretion ensures longevity, as knowledge of treasure is motivation for hunters to steal it. With clout being worth miles more than economics, the Polemarch's position is above price, as he only act on the principle of achievement, deference, altruism, and discretion afford. As the only fraternity on the Panhellenic Council also accepted on the Interfraternity Council, we have never promoted the bond as racially motivated. Thus, the diversity within Kappa is stronger than any other, and we are proud of that, because considering different opinions ensures a more well thought out plan. Following that plan guarantees success, and it is not our fault for following the plan, but enmity between those who follow more closely and those who do so less grows, where through deference, altruism, and discretion we can only rest on our laurels of yesterday and wait to quell eventual revolution.
That concludes the information for this time. Tune into our weekly presentations during this spring semester, Wednesdays from 9:11 a.m. to 10:05, as we learn how to run for Polemarch.